back to the channel. Today we're going to finish the 360 camera mod in the truck. In part 1 and 2 we installed the front camera and the side mirror cameras. Today we're going to wire them all up and make them work. We'll start by making the harness that goes inside the dash. Cut one 68-inch and two 58-inch pieces of shielded cable. This harness will connect the two side mirror cameras to the image processing module, or IPMB. It will also connect the front camera to the IPMB via a second wire harness. Under the hood, we will also be fabricating. Crimp one end of each cable with the terminals shown here. Mark both ends of one of the 58-inch cables C510. Now mark the 68-inch cable C610. And finally, the last 58-inch cable that will connect to the front camera harness, C211. Now add a wire that will provide power to both side camera mirrors. At about 6 inches from the connector, split the power wire to run to each mirror. At the opposite end of the cable, crimp each conductor and the shield, and also the two power wires with the terminals shown here. My truck wasn't equipped from the factory with any front camera wiring under the hood. This harness will connect the front camera grille harness installed in part 1 to the harness we just finished. The light blue wire will provide power. The brown wire will provide the LIN signal to the camera. Crimp the opposite end of the shielded cable with these pins. For now, we'll be using a fuse tap to provide power to the front camera. We may be revisiting this in the future. Now we need to make a simple harness to connect the camera selector switch to the factory dash harness. Crimp this terminal on the gray wire opposite of the connector. Now we'll finally get started installing it in the truck. My truck has the ambient temperature sensor located in the grill, so we have to repin the sensor wires to the front camera harness. Later trucks will have the ambient sensor in the passenger side mirror. This won't be necessary on those trucks. Trim back some of the firewall insulation near the battery junction box to expose and remove the rubber grommet. This is where the harness will enter the cab. Also, cut a slit in the grommet and slip it over the harness. This will provide a seal through the firewall. Remove the cover under the glove box and peel back the carpet. When fishing the wire through the firewall, it will come out under the 4x4 module. Remove it to gain access. Now reinstall the grommet in the firewall. Now go back inside the truck and let's start taking apart the center stack. Remove the 2 screws from the top of the front center interface module and gently unsnap it from the dash. Remove the 6 screws that hold in the touchscreen and disconnect the IPMB. My truck is equipped with Pro Trailer Backup Assist, so it has the factory installed rear-only image processing module with only one connector. The 360 image processing module we'll be installing has 2 connectors. Now it's time to connect the driver's side camera located in the mirror. Unsnap the panel under the steering column and remove the brace below it. Unsnap the door wire harness inside the door jamb. I pulled the connector under the dash to gain access to pin the connectors. Now move to the passenger side and lower the glove box. Inside the dash you will see the middle connector C211. This is where we make the connection between the dash harness and the front camera harness. And finally, connect the camera located in the right mirror. Now connect the front power camera using a fuse tap. We'll revisit this in a later video with a more permanent solution. Here's an overview on what we're going to do in this section to connect the camera select switch. On my truck, the switch backlighting going to the hazard flasher switch is on the black and purple wire. We'll tap into that for the backlighting for the camera switch. Now solder the camera selector switch ground. I tapped into the wire going to pin 6 on the C2512A connector. Now pin the gray camera select switch wire to pin 5 on the C2512A connector. Finally, tap the brown wire from the front camera LIN signal to the white wire going to pin 12 on C2512A. Tape up all the wires with Tesa tape and reassemble the dash. Now it's time to make the forescan changes. After all the modules are detected, run the LIN new module calibration on the IPMB. Here's the built-as data that I used for my IPMB. At low speeds, activate the front camera in bird's eye view by pressing the camera button on the dash. You can also cycle it to full screen front and wide front view. The rear camera has the same 3 views plus zoom on the hitch. Well, that about does it for this video. If you like the content, subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and have a great day.